Hello and welcome. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy festive days for the political correct ones, and very, very blessed and special holy nights that are starting in just one day. This is the live stream for the preparation day 2 of the Essential Holy Nights. My name is Aditya Novotny. I'm from Salzburg in Austria, sending from an island in the Atlantic, and I'm doing my personal review in gratitude of the past year. I'm inviting you to do your review in gratitude, at the same time to position yourself for the next year, 2024, according to ancient rituals, intentions, inner wishes, powerful wishes, and also letting go of things that you wish to leave behind. This is part of a series that is called the Essential Holy Nights. And you may wonder, what is it about, this whole fuss about Essential Holy Nights? They're called rough nights in the Germanic languages. Because of the time of the year, they can be rough, but also they are called smoke nights, because in those nights, people are smudging their homes, cleansing their homes of the old energy of the past year in order to prepare for the new year. Winter solstice is behind us. That means we are already astronomically in the new year, and you might feel already the new energy. It is there, even if the calendar says differently. So welcome everyone, and you can ask questions in the chat. I'll be answering them. We will have 3 parts tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, wherever you're watching from, Southeast Asia in the evening, Europe in the afternoon, and the Americas in the morning. Hello to everyone, and whenever you are watching. The first part is I give you encapsulated a preview. What are the holy nights from 25th of December till 5th of January, including 6th of January, in fact, about? Why are they being observed? How can they be used? What's in it for you? Why should you care? Second part is the particular preparation day 2. That is December 24th. I give you all information needed for that review in gratitude and aligning yourself already for the year to come. Thirdly, I will give a special on the Christmas Eve. So depending on the part of the world you're in, you might be celebrating Christmas Eve on the evening of 24th of December. And I will give you also here some insights and some tips so you can even upgrade your Christmas celebration. So let's start. The Holy Nights tradition goes back approximately 2,500 years. It has been Christianized, as the name 12th Tide suggests, but it goes back further to Celtic tribes, to Germanic tribes, to Viking tribes. They were all observing the winter solstice as the night that was the longest, and from then on the days become longer again, and the sun would become more powerful. A solar festival. However, they didn't really measure because they didn't have astronomical tools that we have nowadays. So they were following a lunar calendar. And that time in between the 354 days of the lunar calendar is 12 phases of 29.5 days each, and the 365 days of the solar calendar, in fact, 365.25 days to be exact. This is why we have every 4th year an additional day, a 366 day. This time in between, these 11.25 days, or 11 days and 6 hours, are missing in today's calendar system. And they have been regarded from old days on as a portal time, as a time when the inner world opens up and when the access to the world of ideas, to the spiritual world, is more open than at any other time during the year. The so-called Holy Nights begin, according to Celtic and Germanic traditions, in the night after winter solstice and lie thus between the years. However, as I said, Christianization, it has become usual to look at these days and night from 25th of December till 6th of January, where 25th of December corresponds to the month of January that is coming. 26th of December corresponds to the coming February. 27th of December corresponds to the month of March. The fourth Holy Night, 28th of December, corresponds to the coming April, and so on and so forth, till finally 5th of December corresponds to December. And then we have still Epiphany on the 6th of January, which is gratitude. And it is closing this cycle in a very nice way, because on the 24th of December, we start with gratitude. And on the 6th of January, we end with gratitude. And in the beginning and in the end, gratitude, then first day, first Holy Night on the 25th of December, and last Holy Night, the 12th Holy Night on the 5th of January. So this time between the years is basically cushioned and embedded in gratitude. And this is something many people are not so consciously aware of, but it plays a big role. It's time now. We are sending live on 23rd of December. Why am I sending already now? Well, because of different time zones, because our Southeastern Asian friends and our East Asian friends, they are already entering into the 24th of December. So if you are in the Americas, please excuse, because for you, it's still 23rd December in the morning if you're watching this live. So gratitude. Gratitude for what has happened or for what has occurred, and gratitude for what is to come. Why gratitude plays a special role, I will explain in the second part. And that is really like a force of nature or a magnetic power that some people know how to use. Most people are not aware how important gratitude is. I said that in this time, a portal is opening, and each of the holy nights and days gives access to the months associated with it. So first Holy Night, December 25th, is connected with January, and so on. What do you do in each day? You should have a Holy Nights journal ready. You can call them Sacred Nights journal. A friend of mine has actually published a book. Even, I wonder if I find it right now. Beautiful book. It's called Sacred Nights. For example, you can find it on Amazon. If you are looking for a real nicely structured book, she did it according to the way that I structure the Essential Holy Nights. And, well, I'll have to look it up. Hopefully I find it for you, because it's a really nice book. But you can use any college block or any regular journal, so it's not necessarily that you will need the see if I can put it in, that you will need the book, the published book, but it is nice. So let me see if I can get it for you. Yep, here it is. So this one, Sacred Nights, the journal for your soul. In the 2023-2024 edition, it was first published in 2019 because Lizzie Filsey Lizzie Pilisi, is doing the Sacred Nights herself already for years. And it has exactly the structuring that I recommend during the Holy Nights. So this is it, Sacred Nights, a journal for your soul. Now let's get back to regular presentation. In this time where the portal is opening, you are writing down every day in your Holy Nights journal, in your Sacred Nights journal, what thoughts do you have on that particular day? What emotions do you have on that particular day? What dreams do you have in that particular night? Which people are you meeting on that particular day? How is the energy between you and those people? Which people are you not meeting, or do you fail to connect to? Maybe even you found them and you can't reach them. That's also important. How does the surrounding react to you? How do people in general react to you? But also, how do you feel personally? How is your health? How is your general energy state? And you write that all down on the 25th of December, first Holy Night, because this is an indication for January already. And that's one side to look at it. You are taking the clues, you're taking signs and portents for the coming months with each of these 12 days and nights. The other side is, because the inner world opens, we can also position our intentions. We can call into existence what is not there yet. We can formulate very exactly our goals. We visualize them, we emotionalize them, and we write down, we script our goals for each of the months. So, for example, for February, you write on the 26th of December, making all these observations about what thoughts, what dreams, what emotions, what encounters, what situations, what's your general energy, what is your health on that day. And you write it down because it's indicative of the months to come that is connected with that holy night. Second part, you are scripting. What do you wish to achieve in that particular month? So, for example, starting with December 25th, right, from midnight, that is for January. What are your intentions for January? What are your goals for January? And you write it down, you visualize it, you emotionalize it. Emotion, very important key. You can even write it down to certain specifics, but not totally specific, because for that we will come back during the Holy Nights year at the beginning of each month to specifically write the script for each month. But again, as I said, on that particular days and nights, like December 25th, December 26th, December 27th, and so on till January 5th, you have that special opening. So you're basically positioning yourself already for the whole new year. You're aligning yourself energetically with the whole new year, and you're really putting in your wishes to the universe. You're really putting in your intentions, and you can make strong wishes. It is absolutely allowed. You can give yourself the permission to make those strong wishes. Because some people do. Some people have been doing this for years. Some people have been doing this for centuries. So if you're not doing it, it's your loss. The wise and the knowing, they use this ritual year after year after year, and you will have many experiences once you're starting this, how different your years become, how conscious your years become, and also how attuned and aligned your years become. So welcome to Essential Holy Nights. Now, why is that working? Why can we really create our future? In fact, we do so in every moment. With every thought you think, you are sending out an energy into the universe. With every word you say, with everything you do and everything you do not do. And with every emotion, you're sending out energies in the universe, and they are creating an effect, cause and effect. The causes are your thoughts, emotions, words, and deeds. The effects is what is happening then. And this, of course, is influenced by the creator, by the source of all creation, first and foremost, because he, she, it, that source of creation is, of course, the most powerful creator. But you are also a creator. You were created after his image as a creator being. And also your brothers and sisters around you, they're also creators. So also what they are creating, consciously or unconsciously, with their thoughts, emotions, words, and deeds, has an influence on you. But most important is that you take charge, that you own your life, and that what I just told you is happening all the time. Cause and effect is happening every day of your life. However, on these 12 special days and nights, the holy nights, it is enormously multiplied, the effect. That means whatever you do on those days, it's like through a lens, it's really magnified and intensified. And this is why you should really use these 12 days and nights. It will be absolutely to your advantage. Leonardo da Vinci told us already that man is a star, that each man is a pentagram, that each man consists of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, and ether or ether. Ether or ether element is the finest element. It corresponds, by the way, to the star pointing upwards, because it is the bridge between the spiritual world, the world of ideas, as Socrates and Plato called it. They said that whatever happens here on earth first exists in the world of ideas. So we have these ideas, we intentionalize these ideas, especially during these 12 days and nights. And we are using essential oils to wrap them into ethereal forms already, because an idea becomes wrapped into ethereal form, matrix of ethereal particles, and then it's much, much more likely that it really manifests in the physical world. So it's like an exact science, the science of creation. Idea, intention, exact picture, visually, but also emotionally, the energy, then bringing it into the ether, wrapping it into ether particles, basically forming, creating a form, a matrix. And that matrix in the akasha, or in the ethereal plane, is the blueprint for what is going to happen in the physical world, in the world of the 4 elements. And it's quite amazing what is happening in the world of the 4 elements. It's quite predetermined by the ideas and by what has been taking shape in the akasha, in the ether or ether plane. Essential oils and oil blends provide the ethereal or etheric particles needed to let the manifestation work take shape. We use 47 different oils and oil blends during the 12 essential holy nights and the 12 essential holy nights year, which is, as I said, the continuation of the work, because each beginning of the month we come back to what we wrote into our essential holy nights journal. Look at it again. For example, you're in the beginning of May. May corresponds to 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29th of December. So you're looking into your Holy Night journal. What did I write on the 29th of December? Which thoughts did I have? Which dreams? Which encounters? Which situations? How did I feel? And you look into it again in the beginning of May in your Holy Night journal. More than that, you also look into what goals, what intentions you have set yourself on the 29th of December for May. You look at it again in the beginning of May, And now you're doing another scripting sessions because now you are actually on the 1st of May or 30th of April or 2nd of May, whatever the case may be. And now you are there in time. Now it's really happening. And now you know also more in detail what of the plans that you scripted on 29th of December, the fifth Holy Night, are you really going to let take shape in May? And then you make detailed planning. So oils are these and some more. And I was asked, do I need the oils? And the answer is, you don't need them. You can use them to your advantage. They are an amplifier. And of course, specifically the ethereal particles with which you give shape to these ideas and intentions, that's very, very useful. However, many people in the last centuries and actually up to 2,500 years didn't have essential oils. Some had smoke, smudge, herbs. Some had not even that. They just had their spirit. It still works. But if you're using essential oils, it works even the better, which is why I recommend essential oils, which I will show you. Is the reason why I will show you for each day and for each month the exact essential oils that are recommendable for that particular time of the year. This time is also a wild time. While we are doing this manifestation work, in Central Europe and Northern Europe, people closed the doors and the windows as soon as the sun set, and they didn't look outside anymore because it is the time of the wild chase. And these are energies of the year past that have not gone back to the source. These are spirits and remaining energies, unliberated energies, unresolved energies that are still for the next 12 days, till 5th, 6th of January, roaming around. While if you stay focused, you can do already the manifestation work for the next year. So basically, what does this tell us? And people were really following that. They were locking themselves up. They didn't want to come across the wild chase. They didn't want to be dragged into these energies. And if you ask me, well, Aditya, does that even exist? Isn't it superstition? Isn't it ridiculous? Well, I also thought so. Till one day I was driving back from Christmas Eve celebrations at my parents' house. At that time I lived about 20 miles, 32 kilometers away from them in Fuschelsee. And just before the last forest, before I reached my house, there it was, like really a wind coming from the left side, an enormous sound, and really like shadowy schemes, not physical, but definitely shapes. And it was going for quite a while. I think I had to stop the car for 10 minutes. And I really looked inside. I looked inside my heart. I didn't look at this procession passing by, because this is part of the meaning. You should look inside during the essential holy nights. You should look inside your own heart. You should look inside your own self during this time. Because as within, so without, we always create our lives and our future from within. So don't be distracted from what's happening outside, even if it's a weird phenomenon like the wild chase. And I can tell you, I had even more experiences once in Slovakia in the high Tatras. Absolutely amazing. But these are things I cannot even trust in public on the internet, because people will say, well, that's a little bit far-fetched, Aditya. What trip are you on? Well, there are still forces around that many people don't know. I mean, shaman people and traditional people, they know about these things, and they don't seem to fit into our modern scientific world, but they are as real and have to be respectful. So this is the time when the sun sets to be at home, to close the door, to close the windows, not to look outside, but to look inside and to do the rituals. Create your coming year, your future in these holy nights. And you have ample to do. I mean, it's not that you will be bored, because you will get quite a program if you're following the essential holy nights. Now, I got another question, and the question was, oh, Aditya, I'm pregnant. Or you might be a young mother breastfeeding. Can I use these oils? And the answer to that is you can follow the 12 holy nights as a whole and as a holistic reality, with or without the oils. Because the knowledge and the rituals work with or without the oils. The oils are additional enhancers. However, you may use most oils that I present, as those oil blends and oils are mostly mild and often with carrier oils. That means some of them are diluted, so you don't have to worry. Specifically oils like frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, the tree oils, the root oils, and the flower oils are all fine. So what is a tree oil? Fir, spruce, pine, cedar wood, for example, cypress. Root oils. What are root oils? Root oils are vetiver, are angelica, are just a few root oils that come from distilling the roots of the plants. Flower oils. What are flower oils? Well, rose, jasmine, geranium, ylang ylang, davana. Also, oils like chamomile and lavender. They're actually herbal oils, but they also consist of the flowers, and they are all gentle enough, so you won't have a problem. However, you should not use, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, citrus oils. Now, if you ask me, joy, for example, joy is made up of chamomile, of flower oils, 5 flower oils, but there's also 3 citrus oils inside. Can I then use joy? The answer is yes, because the citrus oils are such minuscule proportion of the total oil that you won't have trouble. However, there is even an oil blend called Gentle Baby, which is very similar in recipe to the joy oil. And this Gentle Baby, actually I write it down here. Gentle Baby is a special oil for young mothers, breastfeeding mothers, or pregnant women. So Gentle Baby, very similar recipe to joy, but more mild, more gentle. Still, as I said, as soon as you're dealing with oil blends, you can be assured, even if they contain some citrus oils, that they are safe. However, there is one blend that I won't recommend, and that is Thieves. Thieves has not only lemon, but it has also cinnamon bark and clove. So these are 2 really hot oils, and these you should avoid as a pregnant woman or breastfeeding mother. So citrus oils should be avoided. Hot oils such as cinnamon bark, clove, cassia, and blends such as Thieves you should not take. Certainly strong herbal oils such as oregano, thyme, and basil. Oregano, thyme, and basil, they are wonderful, but not if you're breastfeeding or if you're pregnant, because they might be too strong for your little baby or for the embryo inside your body. Fourth, you should not use oils with camphenes. What are camphenes? These are the biological chemical constituents of camphor. And camphor has a very strong quality of deleting informations, which is normally great, but you don't wish to do that deleting, wiping out. And so you don't use peppermint, You don't use hyssop. You don't use myrtle. Especially, you don't use all types of eucalyptus. The strongest of them is Eucalyptus globulus. You should absolutely not use Eucalyptus globulus for the child, even until the child is 7 years old. It's the strongest form of eucalyptus. And you should also not use oils that contain camphines like rosemary and ravintsara. And by the way, ravintsara is the camphor tree. Fifth, you should avoid oils containing plant hormones such as clary sage and sage. For example, for preparation day 1, I recommended use sage for purifying. But I said you can also use juniper or you can use angelica root. So sage has strong plant hormones. And if you are a pregnant woman, if you're a breastfeeding woman, then you instead just use angelica root or you use juniper instead of the sage. When in doubt, just ask me. Just ask in the live streams. I don't see any questions. Nobody asked questions yet. At least they don't get displayed here. So I'll be happy to answer any questions. Of course, so far it's probably quite clear what I said. Well, let me take out my picture so that you can read the whole page. And this is also important. When we're using essential oils, we're using some of the strongest gifts of nature. And you have to use them advisedly and you have to use them respectfully because essential oils are really powerful. All right, enough of that. And Mimi says, great information. Mimi M is Marissa. Hello, Marissa. Great, you're commenting. Thank you. And you get more information if you're asking. So oil clear, all clear. I was reading really oil clear, all clear. Super, thanks for the feedback. All right. By the way, how you can make yourself visible is you just click on that StreamYard link that you see in the live stream comment section. This is how I can see who you are, and I can even inject your photograph or your meme. So this is why here in one case we have Mimi M, whereas in the other case we have just anonymous Facebook user. So please confirm yourself using that StreamYard link, then I can see and I can also show to everyone who you are that is giving that comment. For example, here, Wendy Chong, beautiful. Wendy Chong says, the only ones I still can't use topically are the cinnamon bark and cassia and all the blends with it. Interesting. And I think Wendy has the sensitive skin, and the cinnamon bark and the cassia are really, really hot oils. So you should, if you use them, dilute them 1 to 10 or even 1 to 15 with a carrier oil. For example, V6 or coconut oil or grapeseed oil or jojoba oil. And for some people who have a really delicate skin, it might be even too strong to use them topically at all, like Wendy Chong says, in which case I recommend just apply them in the aura, in the energy field, about an inch, 2 or 3 centimeters away from the skin. Because they have essential particles or ethereal particles, they do work. They work on your ethereal body, on your astral body, on your energy body. So it's not just that oils are working for the physical body. All right. And after this general introduction, let us have a look into preparation day 2, December 24th. Review in gratitude. What has the past year brought to you? What has it brought to your family? What has happened also in your ancestral lineage? How have you become aware of your ancestors? Because whatever happens, there's usually ancestry involved, ancestral energies, whether you are aware of it or not, which is why I will show you also an oil blend that you can use to become more aware of that. And then also the progress you have made. in the past year and the growth, how you grew as a person spiritually or also psychologically. So let's start. The two oil blends that I recommend you right away are Three Wise Men and Gratitude. However, we are also coming up to Christmas Eve. And for Christmas Eve, I recommend you these oil blends. You know them. If you are in the Essential Holy Nights here, you know them already because we do them in the month of December. They are fantastic blends for the month of December. So this is for Christmas Eve, but before we go into that, that will be the third part tonight. And for Christmas Eve, I recommend you 3 blends. It looks good. Let us move them up a little. Okay. We are going into the preparation day. First, if you have that oil blend ready, Gratitude. I have here a really old bottle, way back when they had labels like this. Nowadays, you have more modern labels like you see in the presentation. But still, oils don't get bad. Actually, they get better. It's like good old wine. So here you are first inhaling from the bottle and thinking of the whole past year. What has occurred in this year that is just behind us? What comes to mind intuitively? Just smelling the oil? And you just let come up in your consciousness what naturally comes up. All the good things and also all the not so good things. Reason for this being, we are gratitude. We are grateful for the good things and we are grateful for the tough things. Because sometimes the tough things are even better for us. They teach us even more. We grow more as a person from the more difficult experiences. So here you are just grateful to whatever has happened. You're not judging. You're just looking back at the year, what has happened. What has happened? And how grateful are you for that? What have you let go in this past year? What have you let go? Which insights did you get in this past year? What gifts did you get? What gifts did you get in this past year? And here I don't mean just outer gifts, I mean inner gifts as well. What have you learned from your ancestors? Is there anything you became aware of from your family history or from ancestors? Which golden opportunities did you have in the past year? Which golden opportunities did you have in the past year? You can also write down in your Holy Nights journal if you wish. Which positive qualities did you take over from your ancestors? Maybe you noticed that some of the positive family energies, family qualities, were integrated by you into your own life in this past year. If you had a challenging year, what have you learned from the challenges? If you had a challenging year, what have you learned from the challenges? How did you deal with the challenges? Did you face them or did you run away and hide? And here is the point of this exercise. Don't brush anything under the carpet. Whatever has happened in this past year, face it. Even the things you don't wish to face, even the things you would rather look away from. It's important to look at it. This is preparation day 2. We want to have a clean slate before we start the 12 Holy Nights. Everything that you have not cleared out, that you have not purified, that you have not come to terms with gratefully, whether grateful for the positive thing or grateful for what you have learned from the difficult thing. Whatever you have not come to terms with will appear again in your life. You won't get rid of it. Gratitude is a kind of closure. Gratitude is a very special kind of closure. You wish things not to return, not to haunt you again and again and again. The best strategy is be grateful. Otherwise, it's like a little stone in your shoe, and you feel it's a stone in my shoe, but you are too lazy to remove the stone from your shoe. So you're walking on, but it just stays and it can become more hurtful. So better remove that stone from your shoe. I hope this makes sense. People, they walk around for years without removing those stones. Yeah. So gratitude is a practice and an attitude. If you have that oil blend, gratitude essential oil blend has an uplifting aroma. It fosters gratitude, thankfulness, and contentment. When you concentrate on things you're grateful for, instead of things that bother you, you open yourself up to receiving more gifts. Life flows better when your heart and mind are open with gratitude. Life flows better when your heart and mind are open with gratitude. So you continue. I know this is tedious for some people and say, okay, when is it over finally? I'm doing this for minutes already. Why don't you stop? You should do it at least for 5 minutes, possibly even 7 minutes, 10 minutes, because this, after all, is a whole year that has passed. And you want to say thank you. You want to say thank you to the good things. You want to say thank you to the difficult things. You want to say thank you to the nice people that you engaged with this past year. You want to say thank you also to the difficult people, because chances are you learned something from them. Good. Now you feel it's going deeper and deeper. And now, please, if you have the oil, take 1 or 2 drops out, activate it 1, 2, 3 clockwise, and apply it on your crown and on your heart center in the middle of your chest. If you have any part in your body where you feel gratitude should be applied, maybe a part of your body that you're especially thankful to, your lungs or your stomach or your behind or your feet. Actually, our feet, they deserve a lot of gratitude. They carry us every day. They carry our weight every day. You might apply gratitude oil blend on your feet or on any other part of the body where you feel this part of the body deserves gratitude. So, you notice that it really happens in silence. That's something that words can't express. And it's a lot that has happened in this past year. Now, let me explain to you why gratitude is so powerful. Actually, gratitude makes you magnetic. The more grateful you are, the more magnetically you are attracting more of the same. And if you're ungrateful, by the way, you become like repelling things. I always give this example. Just give a gift to a little child, and the child is so happy and says, "Oh, thank you very much," and starts playing with it. And you give another gift to another child, and that child is not interested at all, hardly looks up, doesn't say a word. And basically, you feel, what have I given this child that gift for? Grateful. The other child didn't care. Who are you more likely to give another gift in the future? Who are you more likely to give another gift in the future? And this is an energetical principle. If something is welcomed with gratitude, more will come. Not only people will give more to that person, but life itself, the universe gives more to that entity. However, if we are ungrateful, we are like repelling it. And that's one principle of gratitude. Second principle of gratitude is you are happy, you are content. And if you're ungrateful, you are simply unhappy, you are discontent. If you want to have a good mood, the best strategy is be grateful. The third quality of gratitude, it makes you free. It makes you free. Gratitude gives you freedom. When you are ungrateful, you are bound, you are attached, or you are resisting. When you are grateful, immediately you enjoy a free floating state, and many more things become possible. So let's go to the next oil blend. And maybe if you wish to know what is inside the gratitude oil blend, we have Canadian balsam fir, frankincense, coriander, myrrh, ylang ylang, bergamot, black spruce, vetiver, and geranium inside. Balsam fir, very powerful tree energy, plus the black spruce from the Fort Nelson, Canada, the Northern Lights region. Coriander, another energy oil. This is what you definitely will smell out of the gratitude bottle, coriander. Then you have frankincense, God the Father, and myrrh, God the Mother. So the divine masculine energies in frankincense, the divine feminine energies in myrrh. Ilang Ilang is balancing yin and yang. Ilang Ilang is balancing our masculinity and femininity. Bergamot is contentment, pure contentment. If you wish to be content, if you wish to have santosha in yoga terms, just use bergamot, because gratitude gives you contentment. Of course, bergamot is inside that oil. But also it grounds you. And this is why we have vetiver inside, vetiver root oil. It really makes you firm if you're grateful. And by the way, if you're ungrateful, it makes you shaky. It makes you unstable. Not only ingratitude gives you a bad mood, also ingratitude makes you weak. So here we have vetiver, which really is the strongest. It's actually the plant that has the deepest roots, typically 2 meters above the ground, but 2.5 meters below the roots. So this is the only plant which has deeper roots than the plant grows above the ground. And then we have geranium, and geranium is a fantastic flower oil that helps us to go beyond our antipathies and sympathies, beyond our likes and dislikes. Geranium helps us to overcome judgmentalness. So one of the reasons why people are not happy is because they are judging all the time. They're judging themselves, they're judging others. Geranium is the oil that helps you to overcome judgmentalness. And of course, gratitude is not judging. It is simply grateful. So this is why geranium is also inside that blend. But now we come to a second oil blend, and that is Three Wise Men. And Three Wise Men is an oil blend that has been particularly created to help us connect with our forebears, with our ancestors, with our forefathers. And if you have that oil blend, you can start now inhaling it from the bottle. It was formulated by D. Gary Young and contains the 3 gifts that were brought by the 3 wise men to the Christ child. It's a very empowering blend to help release negative thoughts, to realign and retune yourself with the higher power. Gary Young says, personally, I enjoy using it on my navel. Why? Umbilical cord, think about it. And my crown. That's another cord or connection, the connection with our highest source. And massaging my feet with it. Enjoy the feeling of great excitement that it leaves with me. So you can apply, if you have that oil blend, 3 wise men. And by the way, you have to be patient with that one because it has a high viscosity. This is because it contains sandalwood and it contains myrrh. So 2 of the thickest oils. They are nearly like honey. This is why they take a while to come out. So you activate the oil 1, 2, 3 clockwise. And you apply on the crown. You apply on your navel and around your navel. That's for your physical umbilical cord. And you apply it on your feet. This is because the feet have carried you through life every day. And now that you have applied 3 wise men on crown, on navel, and on the feet, you can continue inhaling from the bottle. And you surely feel already, if you have applied it, what wonders this does. And this is now your heritage, your family history, your ancestors, spiritually, all the way back to your highest source, physically, genetically through the navel, and in terms of the path behind you, the path that you have gone your feet, all the ground that you have covered, all the things you have done. Many people ask, why is three wise men associated to the three gifts? Reason is the three gifts of the three wise men are myrrh, frankincense, and gold. And in the old days, they called an oil gold, and that was actually balsam. It was in the ancient times called balsam. Gary Young for a long time thought it was the balsam fir. Energetically, the black spruce, however, is even stronger than the balsam fir and closer to the balsam of Gilead. The balsam of Gilead is very rare, very expensive, cannot be produced in commercially big enough quantities. As one of my last conversations I had with Gary Young was about the balsam of Gilead. And he said, well, this is why he's so happy that we have black spruce, because we have too many people nowadays using oils and not enough balsam of Gilead. But in the beginning, he thought the gold was balsam fir. Later, he found out it was actually what was called gold in the ancient times was the balsam of Gilead. Now you would think, why are they bringing spices or ointments or oils to a woman who is about to give birth? Why did these three wise men from the east bring frankincense and myrrh and gold? Supposedly the balsam of Gilead. The reason is because his mother, the mother of Jesus that is, was a Mary. Mary comes from Aramaic Miriam, and it means healer. You maybe have been thinking about, why is it that so many Marys were around Jesus? Not only his mother was a Mary, there was Mary and Martha, Mary Magdalene, Mary Salome, Mary Jacobus, a whole lot of Marys around Jesus. Well, in those days, that was the name of a healer woman. They were all healers. So this is the kind of women that Jesus was traveling with. And so his mother being already a Miriam, his mother being already a Mary, she knew exactly what to do with those oils. So let me explain. We are on Christmas Eve celebrating the birth of Jesus. Why these three gifts? Myrrh is being used already 2 to 3 weeks before the expected birth, and it should be massaged in the birth channel, that is in the vagina. For the very simple reason, myrrh is the softest, the most gentle oil. It makes the muscles really soft. And many women who have a tough time because their birth channel, it's too hardened, it's not gentle enough, they could do much better in giving birth if they had used myrrh oil for the last 3 weeks before birth. Which is, by the way, why the Bible says they came too late. The three kings, the three wise men from the east came too late. Well, you would say, why? The Christ child was just born. Why were they too late? They could still give him the gifts. Yes, but one of the gifts was supposed to arrive already before she would give birth to the child. Ideally 2 to 3 weeks before. This is why they came too late in terms of using the myrrh gift. Frankincense is for the spiritual connection, and frankincense is also for the fontanella. So once the baby is born, frankincense is being applied on the crown. As long as there is frankincense, that can be for a few weeks or for a few months. It helps the child to keep the spiritual connection with the soul's world, but also frankincense is known to help bone growth. Frankincense supports bone growth. Then there is another usage of myrrh oil, and that is the umbilical. In those days, they didn't cut off the umbilical, but they gave a kind of gentle birth, and the child would lie with the mother for up to 7 days without the umbilical cord being cut. And every day, the umbilical cord connecting the mother and the newborn child would be massaged with myrrh oil every morning and every evening. And then naturally, the umbilical would fall off, and then the child would be gently introduced into the world. Until then, being still connected to the energy and to the juices of the mother. Very different from what we have nowadays. I mean, nowadays, babies are just being put out, cut off, and then a slap on their back, so they start crying, and all that in a sterile and cold environment. No wonder many people have a birth trauma nowadays. So this kind of gentle birth, it's also known in China, in traditional Chinese medicine, and it has been known in the ancient world. And even nowadays, we have women. I know one woman from Erfurt in Germany. She has delivered 2 babies on her own in that way. And her husband said she's crazy. How can she do it? And then she just did it on her own. And the children are beautiful, beautiful children. So here, myrrh, again, is not just used before birth, but myrrh is also used after birth for the umbilical. And even then, it is used on the navel of the newborn child once the navel has been cut off or fallen away. Actually, the umbilical has fallen away. Excuse my use of English words. So the next gift is, of course, the balsam of Gilead, or the balsam fir, or the black spruce, which is biochemically very similar to the balsam of Gilead. And that is for the feet. And now you know also why Gary proposes to use this plant, 3 wise men, which contains the 3 gifts, on the crown, frankincense, remember, on the umbilical, myrrh, remember, and on the feet. And I know quite a number of children who are oil babies or oil children. That means they have grown up with essential oils, and their mothers applied valor oil blend or balsam fir oil or even black spruce oil on their feet. And they, on average, start to walk on their own feet 2 to 3 months earlier than their older brothers and sisters who have not had the privilege of using essential oils. So oils align you, especially oils like valor or balsam fir or black spruce, and they can really help you stand on your own feet much sooner. So quite amazing. The 3 gifts to bring you really into the world: balsam of Gilead, black spruce to stand really firmly on the ground, to be connected with Mother Earth, myrrh, the mother oil, to help the mother make the birth really a smooth experience, and not just the mother, also the baby to be born, and then also to patiently and slowly loosen the connection to the mother with the umbilical falling off in a natural way. And then again, the frankincense, the connection to God the Father, to the spiritual source. That is all connected in this blend, and this is why this blend is, of course, ideal for Christmas Eve and for the whole day. So far, you have been in preparation day 1 on December 21st, and December 22nd and December 23rd are also still cleaning, cleansing, decluttering. So the themes of preparation day 1 continue for 22nd, 23rd of December. But now we are coming to December 24th. And now it's really about being grateful and about giving birth to what? We speak about that in a moment. But first, here we spoke about the birth of Jesus, of course, and what these gifts meant. Marissa says the difference between Boswellia carteri and Boswellia sacra. Well, there is 12 kinds of frankincense, and the strongest and most sought after is Boswellia sacra, the sacred frankincense from Oman. However, nowadays there are companies who are selling inferior Boswellia freriana or Boswellia cateri as Boswellia sacra, which, if you know the real Boswellia sacra, your nose will immediately tell you. But apart from that, sacred frankincense is the most precious and also the most expensive, if you want to call it expensive. It's not expensive, really. It's worthy its price. It has a high value. And Boswellia cateri, which is the other one that most people refer to, is also very effectual, especially physically. The Boswellia sacra, the sacred frankincense, is more effective spiritually. The Boswellia cateri is more effective on a physical plane. However, both are effective on spiritual and physical planes. Then you have other kinds like Boswellia freriana or Boswellia serrata, and they are still less effective than the first two that we have mentioned, Boswellia sacra and Boswellia cateri. And then there is minor kinds of frankincense. They are also resin from species of frankincense trees, but they don't have special spiritual powers. They don't have special physical energies. And this is why usually they are not used, or if they are used, it's like with elemi. Elemi is sometimes called the poor man's frankincense. Elemi, although it's a different species, it's not really frankincense. But because it's relatively cheap, elemi has often been called the poor man's frankincense. So it really depends what you want, Marisa. And for spiritual purposes, I would always prefer sacred frankincense. For physical purposes, I prefer the Boswellia cateri, the regular frankincense. I hope that clarifies things for you. So when we do now this review in gratitude and thinking of our forefathers, thinking of our ancestors, like Jesus had Joseph and Mary, his father and mother, who can you be thankful for? What are the roots that have given you strength in your life? While you are inhaling 3 wise men, what are the roots that have given you strength in the past year? What have your mother and your father given to you? And you are thankful for it. What has your whole family tradition given to you? What is natural to you because you just have these ancestors, whereas other, they don't have that. So you're grateful to your ancestors. But also, what do you wish to liberate that are maybe family problems, that are maybe problems that come from your ancestors? You're still grateful for it because they are your ancestors. Without your ancestors, you would not even exist. However, there is something that can be liberated. There is something that can be redeemed. So for this, also think back in gratitude with 3 wise men. What are the more unlucky factors in your family history? Maybe you had really a dark grandma or a dark great-great-great-grandfather. I've heard from some families there was like a black grandmother or a black great-great-grandfather. If that happens to be in your family, we all have some black sheep of the family. They are part of us. They're also part of our genes because they have procreated into us. So what can we redeem here? What can we liberate here? What can we release here? And also, what do you wish to reach that your ancestors have not reached? You're grateful to them. Because of them you exist, and they always wanted it to be better for you. That's the wish, the solemn wish of every generation. I want my children to have it better one day than I did. I wish my children to have it better than me. And it's the solemn wish of every ancestral generation. So you have hundreds of generations wishing that for you. They are really strengthening your back. They have all this positive wish for you that you will have it better than them. How much positive energy is in this? And now, if you reach goals in your life, you reach it also for them because they are cheering you. They are wishing you the best. And even if you don't know it, you are still connected and will always stay connected with your ancestors. Whatever you reach not just for yourself, you reach for them as well. It's your victory, but it's their victory as well. How does that make you feel? What do you feel from the scent of the 3 wise men oil blends? And how does it make you feel towards your family and towards your ancestors? And you can extend this, of course, because you have here 2 wonderful oil blends, gratitude and 3 wise men. You can also extend this to your husband or to your wife or to your children or to your country. What can you be grateful for to the city or the countryside you're living in? What can you be grateful for to your children? What can you be grateful for to your wife or your husband, to your boyfriend or girlfriend? So this is the day to be really connected with ancestry, which is why you even exist. And it is the day to be grateful for all that have contributed to your past year. Great. And this you can do till Christmas Eve. I recommend you do it in the 23rd in the evening before you go to bed, because it's already the night before, from 23rd to 24th. Do it on the 24th in the morning, this ritual with gratitude and with 3 wise men. And then do it a 3rd time before Christmas Eve, if you're celebrating Christmas Eve. So when is that 3rd time? At the time of the setting sun. So from now on, because we are coming now, next time we see, we'll be already in the 12 Essential Holy Nights. Each time, if I don't mention otherwise, I recommend you use in the evening of the evening before, use in the morning of that particular day, and then use at sunset. Because in the evening or at night, you're already doing again the oils and the rituals for the next day, because the Holy Night starts at midnight. So even if you are, let's say, at 10 or 11 p.m., that already starts to count towards the next day. This is why for second preparation day review in gratitude, you do it 23rd in the evening before going to bed. You do it 24th in the morning, and you do it 24th at sunset. Yes, thank you. Also, thank you for the question. Any question anyone asks, I can answer. I'm happy to be of service to you. Facebook user says, I'm also allergic to cassia and cinnamon, even from smelling. Okay, so this is very good. You are aware of it, and not all oils are meant for everyone. Very good. Thank you for that feedback. Okay, now review your past year in gratitude in these 7 areas of your life. In terms of look at all structures, energies, and informations in these 7 areas, things you chose to carry over and things you choose not to carry over into the new year. That's very important. And this is something you please do on the 24th of December with your Holy Nights journal, with your Sacred Nights journal. You look at all the things in your physical world. What are the things you want to carry over into the new year? And what are the things you not carry over into the new year physically? That could be nutrition. That could be stuff, clothes, equipment. That could be even shoes. Maybe you throw out old shoes still on the 24th of December. And I'm not joking. Whatever you can get rid of, which is old and which has old energies, better get rid of on the 24th of December. If you have not used preparation day 1, if you have not used 21st, 22nd, 23rd of December. And each object, each thing you are throwing out, you will feel the relief. You will feel how nice it feels, how your energy gets lighter. So physical, write down what are the things that you're grateful for. For example, these shoes, you are thankful to them. You walked for weeks, months, and years in those shoes. Now it's time to throw them out, but now you are grateful to them. An old friend says goodbye. A coworker says goodbye. Or somebody has died even. You offer gratitude to that person emotionally. Emotionally, be also grateful to the emotions that are tough for you because they make you who you are. Don't put yourself down because of having certain emotions. They are what makes you authentic. Your whole universe, consisting of your physical, your emotional, your mental, social, financial, spiritual, and joy of life, is what you are. And be grateful for it. Be grateful for your emotions, even if you think, oh God, I'm really fed up with myself. How could I? How can I? Please just be grateful for these emotions. Mental, maybe you had positive thoughts, victorious thoughts. Be grateful for these winner thoughts, these thoughts of a winner. But maybe you had very negative thoughts. Be grateful for these negative thoughts. Again, I remind you, gratitude is like a cushioning. Gratitude is like closure. Even if it's something negative, be grateful for it. If you had negative thoughts, thoughts of giving up, oh, it doesn't work, it's not worthwhile, I'm not good enough, thank these thoughts as well. And write down, what is it that you are physically thankful for? What have you found on the physical plane in this past year that has helped you forward? I have quite a few things. For example, methylene blue. I will recommend methylene blue to everyone and explain to you how you can use it. Puffered vitamin C, I have used it. And finally, we have it also in Germany. In America, you have puffered vitamin C for a long time. But these are things that have helped me so much on the physical plane. Also, GABA. GABA, I'm not explaining these, it's just to give you some ideas what I'm grateful for on the physical plane that really has shifted my physical life in this past year. Or nattokinase or nattokinase. It's just for examples for which I'm really grateful for. And I'm also grateful for my body, how my body takes on these nutritional supplements and how it helps. And of course, I'm extremely grateful to all these oils. These oils, they do miracles for me. And by the way, we come to the 3 oils for Christmas Eve in a moment. So physically, I'm sure you're writing, and don't leave anything out. Write down everything you're grateful for, because remember, gratitude makes you magnetic. Emotionally, what are you grateful for? Whether it's positive or negative emotions, be grateful for them. Whether it's something you have or something you do not have, be grateful nonetheless, because gratitude makes you magnetic, creates a magnetic pull. Whereas if you were ungrateful, then you would be repelling possibilities, you would be repelling opportunities, you would be repelling people if you're ungrateful. So, what thoughts did you have in this past year? What thought processes, what realizations did you have? Write it down. Socially, what changed in your social universe? What changed in your relationships? What did change in you so that you're having now a different experience in the world of your relationships, in the world of your social wealth and social capital? Remember, that's important. Social wealth, social capital. Coming out of your relationships. And some people don't have social wealth, they have social poverty. They don't have social capital, they have social debt. So it's either social wealth or social poverty. It's social wealth or social capital or social debt. Whatever it is, be grateful for it. If you have social debt, a social minus, it tells you something. Probably you are not just disregarding other people, probably you are disregarding yourself. The way to respect others is to respect yourself. If you do not respect others enough, if you do not invest enough in your relationships, it's usually because you do not invest enough in the relationship with yourself, in your feeling with yourself. Financially, what can you be grateful for in this past year in your finance? IRS, the financial authorities give you a rough wake-up call. Some people have that, and quite a few people had that in the past year, 2023, when they looked at the taxes they have to pay. It's quite a common experience in 2023. So if you have not put enough money aside for taxes, you might have had a rude awakening. But also on the positive side, what can you be grateful for on the positive side in terms of your finances? Even if 2023 was financially a strained year for many, still we can be very grateful for where we are now. And it's not as bad as media, for example, tries to make it. And even if it is bad, the worst that can happen to you is you die. You die from hunger, you can't finance anything anymore. Well, but then you're still the self, you're still the soul. And this is only half joking, because of course it's not so easy to die unless you kill yourself, which you shouldn't. But we over dramatize our financial fate. We over dramatize our financial fate, like people over dramatize also when they are wealthy. They make a big thing out of it. When they are wealthy, and they think now they made it, now they are someone special, and they make a big thing out of it when they have not enough money. And then they think, oh God, I'm poor, I'm a loser. Well, the real value is not in your finances. The real value is inside you. What you are is what is really valuable. However, how you deal with financial energies shows your mastery of energies. So it's still important. But finances say nothing about your true value. And then what can you be grateful for in this past year for spiritual experiences, spiritual insights, spiritual enlightenments, maybe even spiritual blessings? What can you be grateful for at this very moment? I'm, for example, very grateful for being with you in this very moment and all the blessings that we are receiving and all the insights that we are gaining. I'm extremely grateful to each one of you. And I'm grateful to divinity itself. I'm grateful to gratitude itself. I'm grateful that we are spiritual beings, that we are conscious beings, that we are even able to experience all of that. Wendy, I am grateful to you, Aditya, for this practice and the immense value I've gained from this both tangible and intangible. Beautiful words. Thank you, Wendy. And this is it. Partly it's tangible, partly it's intangible, but it is as important. And even intangible is sometimes more important because intangible makes the tangible happen. As within, so without, as above, so below. Remember, we are creating from the world of ideas through the ethereal matrix into the world of the four elements. So first it's always an idea, later it becomes a reality. It's always first inside us, then it becomes something outside of us. So if you're grateful, do it in the wonderful way like Wendy does it. Be thankful for the intangible things and then be thankful for the tangible things. Beautifully expressed, Wendy. All right. So, and then, did you have fun this past year? Did you enjoy life? Or did you enjoy life maybe even more than in the years before? What can you be grateful for in this field? So write it all down. You will see that has an amazing power if you write these things down and look at all structures, energies, and informations in these 7 areas that you choose not to carry over, and those you choose to carry over. And be grateful to all of them and for all of them. This is the secret. Be grateful. No matter if it's good or it seems good, because it's just a judgment to say this is good, this is not so good. Be grateful for whatever it is. All right. Now, before we do the 3rd section, what you do on Christmas Eve, I like to remind you, those who are watching these live streams and you say, wow, it really sounds interesting. What is it about these 12 essential holy nights? Should I join? Should I not join? Well, that's up to you. If you like the contents, if you like the principles, if you like the rituals, if you like the philosophy, which is an ancient philosophy, then use it. When you book a ticket, you get it for 3 years. And there is 3 packages. One package is just the Essential Holy Nights. That's 15 live streams. And you get the video and downloadable audio in your special membership area. That's just the 12 Essential Holy Nights, all the videos from December 21st through January 6th. 15, all of them a treasure for you for the whole year, but especially for this special portal time. And it costs just $97. And it's not a 1-year ticket, but it's a 3-year ticket. That means you get 3 holy nights, 23, 24, 24, 25, and 25, 26 with it. That will send you really on the way. Now, as I said, we also do the Essential Holy Nights year. That means we do additional live streams at the beginning of each month to work on the topics and qualities of each month. And that is the package number 2, the Holy Nights from December 21st to January 6th, plus the Essential Holy Nights year from 6th of January till 20th of December. And that is $177. And again, package 2 is not for 1 year, but for 3 years. And then some are regularly booking me in a year coaching in the content of, or in the connection with this ancient knowledge of the Holy Nights. And this is on top of the Essential Holy Nights, and on top of the Essential Holy Nights year, you get 4 sessions with me, personal one-on-one coaching for winter, for spring, for summer and for autumn. And this is $777, whereas you get the 3-year ticket for the Holy Nights and for the year. But the coaching is not 3-year coaching. That would be really, really too cheap. But it's a 1-year coaching. However, you can renew if you wish. And I have some repeaters also for this package number 1 who really appreciating it because it's something very personalized on top of the Holy Nights and the Holy Nights year. So that's an offer for you. The link is here. Well, let me see if I can copy that. Otherwise, I will post it under the video at the end of the live stream. So here we are. Hope you could get it. It doesn't post through to all the channels where I'm sending to you. Okay, we have a very interesting comment from Lois Salmon from Atlanta, Georgia, concerning writing these things down in the categories. Now, this seems to be quite a lot of work. And some people say, why should I write it all down, like physical, emotional, mental, social? It is life-changing. It makes you so much more aware. And Lloyd says, I was reminded of what a great year it was for me, along with the challenges. And this is important. We live in a dualistic world. We live in a world of light and darkness. We live in a world of good and not so good. We live in the world of our own luminosity and our own shadows. So to embrace the totality and learn to live with the totality in a wise way, in an illuminated way, that's what it is all about. So thank you, Lois, for this reminder. It's important to write things down in these 7 categories. Okay, so let's go to Christmas Eve. Now, what is the tradition nowadays on Christmas Eve? Please write in the chat, what do people do on Christmas Eve? At least wherever Christmas Eve, some they celebrate Christmas Day, 25th of December. But what is the symbol? What is the symbol that is being used? And interestingly, the symbol is the Christmas tree. Now, how come? Jesus was in a stable. It's not mentioned that he was born under a fir tree or a spruce or any major tree. How come that we have the Christmas tree? And of course, again, that comes from the same tradition that the Holy Nights come from. It comes from the Germanic and Celtic tradition. And it's not only these traditions. It's not just Vikings, Germanics, Celtics. Slavs have that as well. Judaism has this as well. The tree of life, the Zohar. The Indians have this as well. The Bodhi tree, the enlightenment tree. So the tree of life for the illumination tree is a very ancient symbol, important to all men. And it's quite fitting that we celebrate the birth of Jesus, the Savior, as a symbol of our own spiritual birth or spiritual rebirth with a tree. Lighting all the candles. If you use candles, most people nowadays use electrical or LED lights, but I still am old-fashioned. I use candles. And please light them from above to below. Don't light the candles on your tree from below to above, which is a very important structural advice. If you have ever lit candles from below to above, you will have burned yourself. And this is like in spirituality, it's always safer to illuminate from above to below, to bring it down, to bring down the light. It's more difficult and more dangerous, potentially, to light up from below and go to above. Now, make sure you have that star on top of the tree. That star on top of the tree is symbolical of your true destination, your spiritual north, your true north. And always be aware when you light that Christmas tree that you are going to that goal, to that destination also in the coming year. You are pole star bound. You are spiritual north bound. Your compass will not fail. The Christmas tree is a symbol to remind you what are you being born to? What task of life are you being born into? So when you stand or sit at the foot of the tree, think, who am I really? What have I been created for? What is my true north? What is my true spiritual calling? What is my sense and my purpose and my raison d'etre? And then all the lights that you are illuminating, that can be the chakras, that can be centers of consciousness, that can be channels of consciousness like nadis or meridians, that can be different layers of your body, like your physical body, your ethereal body, your astral body, your mental body, your psychic body, your causal body, and your spiritual body. We are 7-dimensional beings on the spiritual plane, as we are 5-element beings here in creation. Creation, we consist of fire, water, earth, and wind, and of akasha, the ether, which also corresponds to our health aura or our ethereal body. But spiritually, we have even 7 bodies. And this is also something, if you think of the Christmas tree, the illumination tree, the tree of life, the tree of liberation, the Bodhi tree, become that tree yourself. Light the fire in all your planes of consciousness, light these lights of consciousness on all planes, and have that star at the top of the tree burning bright. And then become silent. When you are doing this ceremony with the Christmas tree, hopefully you are surrounded by people who will also cherish silence. If it's more material Christmas, like giving gifts all over the place, and children are happily running around and fooling around, and it's just like unwrapping everything or eating your Christmas goose or whatever it may be, then still have a silent moment just for yourself with the tree, maybe when everybody else has gone to bed, and then you light the candles or turn on the lights again and then remind yourself of who you really are. You are that illumination tree. You are the Christ within yourself. Christmas tree. You have that Christ principle, that illumination principle, that Buddha or Bodhi principle within yourself. Tree and you. And this is being repeated year after year after year, right after winter solstice. So let's go to Christmas Eve. First oil I recommend you to come into the right mood is to surrender. Surrender is really to give yourself over to God, to hand yourself over to Source, to surrender yourself, not in the sense of surrendering to a military opponent or a foe. That's not the kind of surrender we're speaking about, but we are surrendering our little ego to the spiritual guidance. We are handing ourselves over to God's guidance or to guidance by Source. And for that, surrender is a wonderful oil blend. So if you're using this at the foot of the Christmas tree, 2, 3, 5 minutes inhalation with that blend, then apply surrender on each of the 7 main planes. 7 planes is the crown, the third eye, the larynx, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral plexus, and your root chakra at the base of the spine. 7 chakras, 7 bodies. Remember what we talked about. Physical body, ethereal body or health aura, emotional body, mental body, psychic body, causal body, and spiritual body. 7 chakras, 7 celestial bodies. And when you think of that, and when you're applying surrender to the 7 chakras, think also of the 7 bodies, as much as you can even think of them or feel them, because it's alien to most people's perception that they are actually involved with 7 bodies and not just one body. The highest body, the spiritual body, is the clarification body, is the body of Christ, or the immortality body, as it is called in Taoism. The body of light, the Buddhists, by the way, call it the diamond body. In Christianity, in some traditions, in the Mediterranean, they call it the clarification body. I'm wondering what online dictionary search says about that word in English. I wonder if you have that word, because that's, again, old tradition. Yeah, and they don't have that word, of course. It's called Verklärungsleib. Transfiguration, actually. Of course, the transfiguration body. Good, I looked it up. This is your highest body. This is what we all will be one day again. We will just be our body of light, our transfiguration body, our Verklärungsleib, our diamond body, our immortality body. So all the lower bodies will disappear one day. Right now, you are in the lowest body, in your physical body, and you think, I am that body. But in the end, your highest body, your transfiguration body, your body of light and consciousness will be the only thing that remains forever of you, of me, of all of us. So it's turning around, isn't it? Which is like the tree that has the roots in the earth and grows up to heaven, or the heavenly tree, which also the Celts and the Vikings have. The world tree that has the roots above and that grows down into the world. In India, also called the Ashwata tree, the Vedic tree. So this is like turning of the tree, like first the roots are in the earth and the tree is growing up, later the roots are in the heavens and the tree is growing down. It's the same thing with our bodies. Now you think you're the physical body, but the time will come you realize you are the transfiguration body, you are the body of light, you are the Christ principle. You are the immortality body. You are the diamond body. And surrender really puts us into that position of being surrendered enough to accept that, and of going out of our egoistic ways, which are cocky and sure or not so sure at all, which is another form of ego, but they are very material. So if you want to go into these higher realms, surrender is essential. And this is why this oil blend is so great. So again, do the aromatic breathing, 3 to 5 minutes, and apply it on all the 7 chakras. But in this instant, not only think of the 7 chakras, but think of the 7 bodies. Then we have humility. You can continue to use surrender to obtain a state of grace and openness. Continue using surrender like we did actually in November in the Essential Holy Nights here, and in December, continue using it, even now on Christmas Eve. But then the next step is humility, to be really humble. And to be humble means to be God given, means to be so open to God that God himself or source itself will give itself or himself or herself to you unreservedly. Humility is another fantastic blend, and you can argue, should I use first humility and then surrender, or should I use first surrender and then humility? That's up to you, by the way. Find your own sequence. Could be this sequence, it could be that sequence. That's up to you. whatever feels more natural for you. Okay, I reverse this now again because you make the selection for yourself. Now, humility is really doing away with anything that separates you from God. Doing away with anything that separates you from your divine birth. Symbolized by the birth of the new year, symbolized by the birth of Jesus. We get reborn spiritually. Actually, not just every year, we get reborn every day. On a cellular level, we get reborn every second. But be careful. When pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with humility comes wisdom, as King Solomon says in Proverbs 11:2. When pride comes, then comes disgrace. When humility comes, then comes wisdom. Accordingly, you can not just inhale humility, but you can also apply humility on the 7 chakras. And now you know already the trick. It's not just the 7 chakras, it's the 7 bodies. So you're applying, of course, to crown, forehead, larynx, heart, solar plexus, sacral plexus, and root, perineum, or tailbone. But from these chakras extending and emanating is an energy that goes into these 7 bodies. From your root chakra to your physical body, from your second chakra, your sacral chakra, to your ethereal body, from your solar plexus chakra to your emotional body, from your heart chakra to your mental body. Yes, I know, sounds strange for some, but heart chakra is air, and mental body is air. And by the way, emotional body is fire, like the solar plexus is fire element. Then we have the 5th chakra, the ether element, and that corresponds to the psychic body, our true psychic body. Then the 6th body and the 6th chakra is the 3rd eye. And also here, many people don't know what's the connection between the causal body and the 3rd eye. Well, the actual connection is once your 3rd eye is awakened, you can burn the causal body. The causal body is the body that we carry with us through all existences. And it's the storage of our karmic seeds. It's the storage of all our sins or good deeds, or however you wish to call it. And we cannot finally get liberated if we do not burn the causal body. And that can be done only through the 3rd eye. It's basically like putting spiritually on fire your causal body. And that is what gives that clarification body or transfiguration body, which burns all the lower bodies in the end and lets you be again the Christ, lets you be again the immortal being, lets you be again the divinity, the real being, not the physical body or the lower bodies. That will be realized in connection with your crown chakra, your transfiguration body or immortality body or body of light or diamond body. And see, this is a real gift that we get at Christmas Eve if we celebrate this divine birth, this birth of Jesus, actually the birth of Christ inside all of us, with that understanding. And the final oil is then the gift. Beautiful oil blend that goes back to actually the 2nd book of Moses. It's a recipe very similar to a recipe you find in the 2nd book of Moses. And again, it's great. You inhale it, it will really transport you into the ancient Arabic world, into the world of Jesus, into the world of caravans and oases and birth in the night. And the real birth, the real gift is what? what is the real gift that you receive at Christmas? Here you use the gift, activate it, and apply it on the 7 chakras. And then you, while inhaling the gift, feel the connection between your first chakra, your root chakra, and your physical body. Feel the connection between the second chakra, sacral plexus, which is water element, by the way, and your fluid or health aura, which is ethereal. I know this is confusing because also this 5th chakra, which connects with the akasha, is ether body, ethereal body. But in terms of the chakras, the connection is the 2nd chakra, is the ethereal body, the health aura, the fluid body, water, sacral plexus. 3rd body, your solar plexus, your emotional body, your astral body, your body of fire, and that is your emotional body, the solar plexus chakra. 4th chakra, the heart chakra, air element, and the mental body. What does it mean? Do we think with the heart? Yes, we should. We should think with our heart. Because as the little prince says, only with the heart we really see well. Only the heart really sees well. So in the same way, we should learn to think with our heart, especially as the mental body is really rooted and founded upon the heart chakra, which many people are not aware of. Then psychic body and the throat chakra or the larynx chakra, center of creativity. This is where the higher creativity, where symphonies are composed, where sonnets are being written, where songs are being sung, immortal songs, but even where Buddha fields are established. That means holy spots on the earth, power spots on the earth. They are called, in Buddhist tradition, Buddha fields. You can also establish Christian fields or Krishna fields or however you wish to call it. Fields of divine energy. This is the highest form of creation that we are capable of through the throat center, and that is the true psychic body. This is what we're really capable of. Many people don't know that. Many people don't know we are all capable of symphonies. We are all capable of sonnets or immortal songs or immortal inventions. We are all capable of establishing divine energy fields here on Earth. That's the psychic body and the 5th chakra. 6th chakra, the causal body, we spoke about that. All the seeds, all the karmic seeds, all your good and your not so good deeds and words and emotions and thoughts. It's not just your deeds. Karma is created by thoughts foremostly. Thoughts create most karma. Secondly, by emotions. Emotions are the 2nd most powerful to create karma. 3rd, by words. Words create 3rd most karma. And 4th, by deeds. Deeds are actually the weakest, and now you will be also surprised. How is that possible? How can be, for example, if I kill somebody, he's really dead. If I just think I kill somebody, he's still alive. So how can they create more karma? Do you understand why? In order to do something physically, you first have to think it. So the greatest consequence is the thought. What thoughts do you think that begets the feelings or emotions? That begets the words that you speak, and that begets finally the deeds that you do. This is why thoughts are the most consequential and they create the most karma. And so if we think of Christmas tree, illumination, liberation, 3rd eye and causal body, we want to liberate and put the causal body into a holy fire. to become again the transfiguration body, the clarification body, the body of light. That is on the highest plane, the soul's body or the spiritual body, the one body that remains. These are gifts, just some of the gifts. You may experience other gifts according to your tradition, according to your spiritual development, according to your material development, according to your social development. For many people, Christmas Eve is the only time of the year, or Christmas Day is the only time of the year where the whole family gets together. In America, it can be at Thanksgiving. In Europe, it is usually Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, where finally the whole family gets together. So whatever Christmas means for you, Preparation Day 2 is the 24th of December. Review in gratitude the year, the family, the ancestry, the progress you have made, the growth that has happened for you in this past year. Please write it all down in all these areas, the 7 areas of your life, and finish that work. And remember, you're using gratitude oil and 3 wise men oil blend for that. Finish that towards sunset. So you start it 23rd in the evening before going to bed. You do it the first time, then 24th in the morning you wake up, and then finally a third time at sunset before the Christmas Eve comes. And then at Christmas Eve, you can use, if you have the time, and even just a moment in privacy, you can use these 3 oils, or you just do your visualization and your meditation with the Christmas tree and with that body of light and with what the Christmas tree, the enlightenment tree really means that I shared already with you. We are now really going into the Holy Nights. Next time we see will be in just 24 hours, because I will give you from now on every day at this time the live stream for the next Holy Night. And the first Holy Night will be the 25th of December. And next time you see me live, you have to have a ticket. It will not be free live streams anymore. It will be really in the group. Deservedly so, because it's a lot of value that you get. And it's also with respect to those other participants who are investing in this experience. It will be a life-changing experience. As I told you, you will have a 3-year ticket. And it means 3 years for the Essential Holy Nights, 3 years for the Essential Holy Nights year, package 2 and 1, and 1 year for the 1-year coaching. If you're not joining, then you have the chance again next year. The only thing that passes by is another year. So you might as well make that decision now, because time is precious. Time is the only thing we do not get back. So I'll be there for all of you who are in the Essential Holy Nights. I'm looking forward to see you. By the way, it will be on Mighty Networks. I will send you an email. I will send you actually 2 or 3 emails to make sure you get the link. Because we have another platform which I'm using. It's called Mighty Networks, and all those who have signed up, you will get the notification and the link to be there. It's always at 2 p.m. UTC, starting tomorrow for the next 12 days, giving you all that you need to have a wonderful, wonderful Essential Holy Nights time. With that, Merry, Merry Christmas, happy festive season, blessingful experiences, and if you're joining for the Essential Holy Nights, looking forward to see you in the next 12 days.